Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going to explain to you how to spend your gems in 2022. So this is going to be kind of the most optimal to start off in terms of spending gems and the things that you need to get as soon as possible. And the biggest enemy in terms of spending gems and saving up gems is yourself opening random chests. But yeah, if you choose to follow this advice or not, it's going to be up to you, but I'm going to try to make it as good for you as possible. So without further ado, let's get into it. So at the start of the game, you want to do well in Arena and Champions Arena. Those are going to be the main two places where you're going to get your gems. So you need more characters to do better in those specific game modes to get more gems. So in order to achieve that, you're going to go ahead and open chests to get those characters. Now, it depends on what chests are available, really. And if there is a sale, you might want to grab something from a sale, though usually if there's a sale, I'm going to have a video on it. So vibe check with my channel at that point if you see a sale in the store. But generally speaking, the hero chest is going to be the safest choice. There's premium chests that are good to open for new players. For example, this one is going to be a good enough premium chest to open. And the premium chests that are usually available are going to be of characters that are available in the hero chest. Usually, there's some others, and have higher chance for that specific characters. I'm just going to tell you which premium chests are not worth opening over the hero chests real quick. Swamp Thing premium chest not worth opening. Blade Master Robin not worth opening. Harley not worth opening. Unbreakable Cyborg premium chest not worth opening. And there's a lot more. Like, really, the hero chest is going to be the safe choice. You want to be opening hero chests and good premium chests if you know for a fact they're good. For example, the Sir Banshee one is a very good premium chest. The Wonder Woman premium chest, the Classic Wonder Woman, is also a good one to keep an eye out. But you want to open chests until you feel like you have a good amount of characters to do well enough in Arena and Champions Arena. A good benchmark for that is that in Arena you are at the very least able to reach Elite 1, because at that point you're going to start getting characters fully unlocked at 3 stars from Arena, and you should stop opening those chests. I recommend you just dump all the gems you have in hero chests for, let's say, the first 2 weeks of the game. At that point, everybody should stop, but if you feel like you can stop previous to that, it's going to be a good thing to stop if you feel like you can already reach at least Elite 1 in Arena. Now, the operations over here are going to be a long-term investment. They're going to cost gems to upgrade, and by upgrading them, you're going to get an increase in the chance of getting gems. The increase is not going to be that high, but it is going to add up in time. So I'm going to be honest with you. If you're going to play this game for less than, let's say, 5 to 6 months, then it's going to be a total waste of gems. If you're going to play this game for more than 6 months, then at that point, you're going to start making a profit out of upgrading your operations over here. So yeah, get them all the way to level 20 if you know you're going to stick around for the long run. Now, there's 2 things in the special offer store that are going to cost gems. With Sim Booster Pack, it's understandable to get this, okay? If you just don't want to play the fights when farming campaign, and you should farm campaign, you shouldn't let the energy pile up. You should definitely open sim packs if you don't have the time to personally and manually play them. But I recommend you do if you want to save up gems, but at the same time it's understandable. This thing for this amount of gems is absolute garbage. If anybody tells you that this is going to be a good buy and is going to be worth your gems, they are simply wrong, so don't listen to them. This just stay away from it. Now, if you do want to farm in the early parts of the game gear materials and gear resources, you're going to do that by farming campaign rounds, by farming heroic campaign rounds. And for that, you can do this to refresh your energy for a certain amount of gems. This is not really that much of a mandatory thing, but if you feel like you need gear materials and reforges, this is the way to do it. So I recommend only you do it if you got above 100 energy, because before that it's not really going to be worth it. You're going to increase your energy cap as your account level increases. So go ahead and refresh energy, and a decent full clean is to refresh energy twice and go as far in heroic as possible. Fighting all the fights as far as that allows you. It should allow you to maybe get here, depending on what challenges are up and you want to farm or do not want to farm. Yeah, that's as far as refreshing energy goes. Don't go above refreshing it 2 times a day because it's not worth it. After a tier 6 of this, you can spend gems to refresh it once a day, if you feel like. Some people are refreshing more than once a day, but I don't really find it worth to refresh more than once a day for the XP capsules. because now that they have added the higher tier XP capsules, they have also increased the cost of the refresh. And while for 20 gems, it's definitely worth refreshing every single day, for more than 20 gems, I don't really feel like I want to do that anymore. Another thing you can do is to refresh the challenges to get more shards for the characters that you want. There's going to be a few characters that are worth gem refreshing for. Those are going to be Silver Banshee Challenge, Entangling Poison Ivy Challenge, and Last of Joker Challenge for the most part. Brainiac Challenge to an extent as well, but it's going to be very specific, so just don't worry about that. But as a general rule, there is not a single challenge in the entire game that's worth refreshing if the cost starts at 200 gems, because there's going to be two types. Cost 50 and cost 200. There's not a single one in the game at cost 200 that's worth paying for it, so if you see that, it's going to be by default a no-go in terms of gem refresh. In terms of characters that are going to be very helpful to you in the very early parts of the game, and you should definitely open some chests for, we are going to have the Holy Trinity: Deathstroke, Batman Who Laughs, and Raven. And I actually don't recommend Raven anymore, Raven first anymore, because Raven is a great character, but you are going to need another decently good character to perform well with her. And while you should definitely get her, and you should definitely get her soon, first up I recommend you open the Deathstroke Legendary chest to get Deathstroke at 3 stars unlocked, because this dude will do very well for you without the gears, because he only needs the percentage health damage from the third special to perform. So you see Deathstroke Legendary chest. Ideally, you want to get that on a sale, but you can just get that normally if you're not patient. But definitely get Deathstroke as soon as possible. After that, I recommend you get Raven as soon as possible, because at that point, after you have already gotten Deathstroke, you most likely have something that's able to be buffed by Raven. Yet again, you don't really need gears for Raven if you can play it properly. She is here mainly for this passive that increases the damage of all your team while the darkness is active, so she is going to be a great character. And then we have Batman Who Laughs, who's going to pretty much be the same as Deathstroke in terms of the percentage health that he's able to do. Percentage health is very good because he does not require the characters to be built. He's going to be worse than Deathstroke because he does not have access to Nora Snow Globe synergy to get more out of him, and at the same time he's going to be a little bit less safe than Deathstroke. Deathstroke is going to be quite a menace even at no gears in terms of survivability, while this dude, even though he does pull the damage, is going to be a little bit harder to keep alive in the early parts of the game. So after you got those 3 characters, each one of them at 3 stars, you should at that point look at your roster, and it depends on what you have, what you should pursue. You should follow one of my guys in terms of what characters to get, but by the time you get all 3 of those at 3 stars, you should be fine. Yet again, ideally do wait for sales. So for Deathstroke, his Legendary chest, Legendary Deathstroke chest. For Batman Who Laughs, you can get the Batman Who Laughs premium chest. That's going to also have a chance for Arkham Knight Batman. That's a good enough one. Also, his legendary chest will do. If you see one of them on sale, definitely grab it. And for Raven, her legendary chest. The Claw of Darkness chest that she is in with Batman Jack Catwoman is a fine chest, but not the best chance to get Raven herself. So save up gems and get for those 3 characters as soon as possible. Now that we have established that, I'm going to go really briefly on something you should never do on the things you should never do with gems nowadays. So this was always the thing, never buy this. This is by far not worth it. This is scam level rates to get credits for gems, so never ever do this. Another thing, don't go for orbs. Don't spend gems to get orbs. You will eventually from soul rates get more orbs than you actually need to get. It might seem like it's a struggle at the start because you are quite eager to promote your Kinflan Sakman from 6 stars to 7 stars, let's say, but do not go for orbs. Anything you do not spend gems for orbs. Other things that you shouldn't spend gems is the chest that has those 7 talent thing. Don't spend gems for that. In terms of gear materials and gear reforges, usually you should refresh campaign to get more of them. but there might be some chests in the store if you're in the early parts of the game that might be event specific chests like Easter gear chests or something. Not saying you should buy the Easter gear chest because it might be garbage this year because they change from year to year, but sometimes there is some gear chests that you can justify buying. But for the most part, do not spend gems on getting gear materials other than from farming campaign or reforges. Yet again, you're struggling with them at this point, but there are far more important things to get. And this thing, don't ever spend gems specifically to get this thing because it's not better with anything than the normal reforge, but it's going to simply be a little bit more time efficient than the gear reforge. Another thing that you shouldn't spend gems on is going to be artifact materials and artifact reforges, for now at the very least. The thing with those things are, they're going to be great. You want your artifacts at a higher level, they're going to be a very important thing for your account, you want them to have good bonuses, and the gear materials and artifact chests used to be a good thing to buy when there was also artifacts in it, but since now we got only artifact materials and artifact reforges in them, and they're absolutely dumpster fire garbage in terms of rates, it's going to be a very, very bad investment for the progress of your account, so make sure you focus on getting characters. As a general rule for this game, anything that you have any way to guarantee you're eventually, no matter how hard, get without spending gems, you should not spend gems on, except for rushing towards legendary characters. I know all Raven, Bedinglefs, and Deathstroke are going to drop from their specific soul rates, but you need to have them as early as possible. So yeah, those are a few guidelines on how to spend your gems in the early parts of the game at the very least. Hope that was helpful, and if you are past that point, just look out for sales. Save up a big chunk of gems, and when a sale comes in, make sure you grab the best possible thing for your account. And when there's a sale out there, I'm gonna make a video on it, so make sure to subscribe. So yeah, goodbye!
This is the future.